Let's continue our study of inversions. Part 3, we're going to do some examples now. The objective is to review the Roman numeral shorthand for the inversions that we learned in the last video. And then we're going to apply the Roman numeral symbols to the chords and key. So let's look at our shorthand here. We'll be talking in the key of C. If you look and you see no superscript on a note, so if they are on a number, so a 1 chord, for example, or a 2 chord or a 3 chord, that means that the chord is in root position. So for example, in this case, the key is C, I see a 1. That means that I just have a C chord. That's the 1 chord. In this example, I see a superscript 6, a 1-6 chord. Still a 1 chord, it's still a C chord, but the note in the bass is the 3rd, which is the E. So that is a C over E chord. That's a 1-6 chord in the key of C. And in this example, I see 1-6-4, which means I'm in second inversion. That means that the 5th is in the bass, so that means C over G is the 1-6 chord, 6-4 chord. So here we go. Let's do an example. I'm in the key of C. I'm going to give you the key. I look at my A minor chord. First thing I have to ask myself, what's the Roman numeral for A minor in the key of C? So I go C, D, E, F, G, A. 6. That's what it is. It's a 6 chord. Now the question I ask myself, is that A minor in root position? Does it have the 3rd in the bass, or does it have the 5th in the bass? Well, it says A minor. That means that it is in root position. So now let's go to the key of F, 1 flat. I have a B flat over D chord. So my B flat chord, I have to ask myself in the key of F, what's the B flat chord? F, G, A, B flat. That's the 4 chord. Okay? And now I have to look and say, what note is in the bass? Is it the root, the 3rd, or the 5th? In this case, D is the 3rd of that chord. Therefore, it means it's in first inversion. So a B flat over D in the key of F is a 4-6 chord. Let's do another example. Key of D now, 2 sharps. I am given an E minor over B chord. First question I ask myself is, what function is E minor? What Roman numeral in the key of D? I start with D, E. So that's the 2. It's the 2 chord. And now I ask myself, what's in the bass? Is it the root, the 3rd, or the 5th? The E, the G, or the B? The B, that's the 5th. Therefore, it is a second inversion chord. So in the key of D, an E minor over B chord is a 2-6-4 chord. Let's do another example. Key of E flat, 3 flats. I ask myself, what is E flat over B flat? So first, what function is the E flat chord? Well, E flat in the key of E flat is the 1 chord. Now I ask myself my second question. Is it the root, the 3rd, or the 5th in the bass? Well, B flat in this chord is the 5th. Therefore, it is in second inversion. And an E flat over B flat chord is a 1-6-4 chord. Let's move on and do another example. In the key of C sharp major, I have a D sharp minor chord. So I first have to ask myself, what Roman numeral is D sharp? C sharp, D sharp. It's the 2. So now I have to ask myself the second question. Is the root, 3rd, or 5th in the bass? There's no other notation, therefore the root is in the bass. It's in root position. So a D sharp minor chord in the key of C sharp is just the 2 chord. And there you have it.